The third speaker is Tjaša Strle, multiculturalism. Multiculturalism, Tjaša Strle.
Oh, yeah. Everyone who comes into our country to live should so subordinate their beliefs and their culture to our culture. This is a statement I heard a week ago from a man called Bojan. And I disagree with his statement. If I imagine myself going to live abroad, I would like to learn about a new culture. I would like to learn a new language. But still, I would never want to forget my Slovenian roots. I think multiculturalism is really important, and it makes people and countries richer. Today, I will share a story with you. Almost 1 year ago, just before the 1st of May, I was in Bosnia, in Sarajevo, which is the capital. And the first morning I did the same as I do whenever I am in a new city. I walked through the city, I came to Baščaršija, which is the old part of the city, and I chose the main square, where I sat down and took a coffee, a real Bosnian coffee. I was observing people and trying to grasp the atmosphere. What I saw was Muslim women wearing burqas. I saw Bosnian men drinking coffee. I heard 2 Turkish men talking about their business in Bosnia. And I saw a lot of little kids with backpacks going to school. And at that moment, a guy stopped next to me and he said, "I know exactly what you are doing, because I do the same when in a new city." We started to talk and he sat down to have a coffee with me. As it turned out, he was Bosnian himself, and he was explaining me how he lived many years in Africa and all around the world. He shared some of his stories from Africa with me. Just a few years ago, he returned back to Bosnia, where he settled down, got married, and had a child. I was curious, so I asked him, "How does it feel after living so many years abroad and then returning back to Bosnia?" And he said, "Do you see all these hills surrounding the city? Because if you've ever been to Sarajevo, you know that the city is surrounded all around with hills." He pointed to one specific hill and he asked me, "Do you see houses on this hill?" Of course I saw them. He said, "You know, people live in these houses and they look down to the city and they think that this city is the whole universe." He paused for a second and then continued, "I've been beyond this hill, and that is why I sometimes feel alone." And his story completely resonated with me, because each time when I travel, when I meet new people with different stories, with different cultures, with different beliefs, with different religions, each time when I come back home, I realize that I learned something new. And this learning had an even bigger impact when I lived for several months in Spain and in India. And that is why sometimes you feel alone if you talk to people who think that their city or their hometown is the whole universe. There is not one culture that is perfect. There are positive aspects of a culture and the ones that need changes. But the more you travel, the more you meet new cultures. Or if you are lucky enough to live in a multicultural city or a state, the more you come to realize that we are all humans with desires, with aspirations, with goals, people that want to be loved. The only difference between us is that we were born in different parts of the world. And can you imagine if different cultures and different ethnicities, different people would start massively having children? I believe that if this would happen, we would have fewer, if any, wars, because no one would like to kill their own people. And that is why I think multiculturalism is really important, because it makes you more tolerant and it makes you more empathic. Thank you.